say, for me, I see colleagues and friends, and I see a mutual desire to support the student experience, to support the Institute through the proposed changes in the master plan and the IOE UCL proposed merger. I think that I come into this expecting that I can work with anyone sitting around me because I expect that of myself. I have a high expectation of my professionalism and my collegiality and an appreciation for them and their viewpoints and for what we do bring as strengths to the table and how we will constantly be driven by that desire to serve. And if we keep being of service at the core of what we're doing, we are constantly focused on that, and we will produce from that space. We will produce from a space of deep care and concern and belief in not only each other, but in the cause of the IOE and the students we represent.
Until a couple of weeks ago, we didn't all know each other, and I certainly don't know Jess and Echo personally, but this last week has been really new for us, and I've tried to get to know everybody because I like people. I like to talk to people, and I think I can get along with pretty much anybody because I like to make friends, and I like to know how you're doing, what you think, what's your favorite colour, stuff like that. And I think getting along with people is one of my strengths, and I really get along with everybody here, I think. And any of us would make great presidents on my side.
You all seem to be very amicable and lovely candidates. You all seem to be very good candidates. But you all seem to be agreeing with the same thing, articulating yourselves, saying the same thing. What is it that makes you different to the other candidates? And that's what will show us that will make you the best candidate.
Good question.
What makes me different? Apart from the accent, I've been here, probably apart from Amber, I think, and Valenta, no, I think about that. So basically, I'm from the north. No, the thing is, I think this is going to be shared as well, which I don't know if it's a difference, but I've been here long enough to have my own perception, and it's in my head, so nobody else, not a single person here can tap into exactly what I want to change and what makes me stand out. The only thing that I can think of this is a really hard question. What makes me different? I've got chickens on my posters. That makes me different. I have a very strange sense of humour and a very unusual drive for getting things done. And this is a really, really tough question. My toenails are painted purple. Anybody else's? Anybody else's? No? No? My commitment, actually. My commitment to the cause. I've been here so long, like I said to you, I was here for the paint job and everything, and I'm so passionate and committed about what I can do to change it that I think nobody else can, because not from a presidential point of view, not from a student point of view, but as a staff point of view, I can see the failings and really, really want to work and strive to make it a better place, a better community. Yeah. I think the biggest difference I have for the rest of the candidates is my age. I'm the youngest person running, which brings new difficulties with it, but I think they'll manage it okay. Like Jess said, I've been here not as long as the rest of them, probably just over 2 years, and I have noticed a lot of changes, and some of them are good, but it just shows how many more changes we have to make, and yeah, that's what I've noticed. It is a hard question. My toenails are painted blue. We should start this going.
I don't have any paint on my toenails. Yet. I will say, what do I bring? I think as an international student, that has done work in student development and student affairs, in residence life and athletics, and undergraduate student associations in UCLA and Stanford. I have specifically worked on special management projects at Stanford on the redesign of their RA training program. Beyond that, when I wasn't working there, I worked at Apple on the retail side on Apple retail training for flagships, for new hires. So what I bring is an experience set, I think, that is diverse and international, from very different modes of institutional typology, which I think enriches and was kind of the point of me coming here first, was I wanted to have a large public research intensive institution, a large private research intensive, and an international institution experience, because I think that the multitude of perspectives informs the perspective I'm capable of bringing. And I think that that is what, as far as I can see so far, is the difference, is that I see that as an incredible space of potential to work from. And I'd like the opportunity to do so.
Yes. Thank you. I moved to London some years ago. I had the status of international student. My country became a member of the European Union. I became a European Union student. And recently, after 7 years in here, I'm British citizen, so I'm British born student. So actually, I have the chance to experience all these three different status, understand the problems and the difficulties, and understand the people. I've been, as I said, 7 years University of London student, and the last 3 years I've been at the IOE. I service, I've been in different positions, volunteering paid as well. 3 years is a lot of experience, I think, that I can bring in, and I can contribute in my own way, but based always on what you would like to have. The people, they know me, they always say that I'm very stubborn. I never give up. I'm never willing to give up in order to gain something. I can never be corrupted. I can never patter up. I'm very honest, very straightforward. Sometimes it's not easy, you know, but the only I can promise is that always I will be in front to fight for you. This is my promise, and I will keep it. I think this is make me different. I think my passion for you, apart from the fact that I am the only candidate for this position, compared to the other two positions, we have 3 candidates. Yes, thank you.
I think what you find, like, every one of us here is unique. Every one of us is different, and we're all going to have different strengths to bring to this role. So for me, the question is not about how am I different, but it's why I'm right for this role this year. This year, when we face challenges like no other year before, it's unique what we're facing with the UCL merger. And for me, the reason why I'm right this year is because I have been in post as president this year. I have experience and I have learned skills over the past year. I've been in rooms and I've developed negotiating skills, developed the relationships, develop the understanding with the people that going forward we are going to have to work with. Now that is no comment on the other candidates. I got elected last year. I've been in this position for a year. And that does mean that I can take all of that skill, all of that experience forward next year. And as the only candidate from the current officers running, if I am not elected this year, that experience and that skill goes. Those relationships that I've developed go. And it will be a challenge for these guys to start from that position afresh. And for me, that is why I'm running this year, because I believe there is a fight to be had, and because I believe that I have the ability and the skills and the experience to take that forward. I also have the passion and I care massively about it, because I'm invested in this place. Yes, I am invested in this place. So that is why I believe I'm right for this year.
Excellent question again. What makes me different? A, my name. B, the experience that I bring in working with people for so many years, the time, all ages, all that I've done. I'm not going to explain, it's in the manifesto. the reason why I've been doing all that I've been doing, the reason why I'm here, the reason right now why I'm standing in front of you and talking to you, irrespective of the fact that I joined in October and this is the first time that I'm standing in the election and I'm directly going for the full-time post because I believe that I can do it and I know that I will do it if elected. The reason I'm here, what makes me different, is the fact that I know that a valid point made in a valid manner makes more noise than standing on rooftop and screaming it out. Thank you.
Your question was a very good one, but what makes me different, like Zach, is my diversity. My diversity spans beyond negotiation skills. It clearly has to do with, I don't know, my Caribbean flavor, which I'll bring to the table. It also has to do with my experience serving as president in many organizations, being facilitator in numerous organizations, and all these skills which I've garnered in the different areas and roles that I have worked. But most importantly, from being back home in Jamaica, doing my research on the IOE before even setting foot on the soil here, and speaking to members of this institution and alumni members, which I have never even met since being here, and just doing the background about the IOE, understanding the values and the issues that are here that needs to be addressed. That is why when I came here, I saw the niche in which I should address. And I come to this position not with any years of working here at the IOE, which is why I come with fresh ideas, a creative thinking, which will go beyond what I have done, so things will not be the same old as it was before. But I will bring my experiences and my knowledge and commitment to this new role. Thank you.
Hey, you people are going to hate me because I'm always expecting, I like pretty words. I think that you guys are very well worded and speak beautifully, but I need concrete examples, like practical ideas. What are you thinking of concretely? Moreover than, oh, okay, I'm going to help you out. Why are you going to strive for? Like, as you all have said, this is a difficult year. So what are we going to do? In Chile, we have this expression that you wet your butt. You are so committed that you are actually going to wet your butt. So how are you going to wet your butt? How are you going to strive for this? Because I feel that if you guys feel just as committed and if you can show us in practical ways with ideas and concrete examples how you're going to strive with us for this, maybe we can actually help you out with this work. As I was referring earlier, this is teamwork. So it's not only you, we're also here to help.
Okay, this may take a while since I prepared a speech which relates to my 4 areas slated in my manifesto. You want concrete examples. I plan to have an executive academic guidance from the outset so that students are aware of the modules to select in order to meet their career goals. An active executive board, so the student representatives will meet more frequently in an attempt to discuss the issues that are affecting students. Introduce and maintain a text alert system for all students at the IOE unless you have decided to opt out. Seek to ensure that Moodle is utilized by all lecturers in a mutual agreement with administration. In collaboration with the Careers Unit, the Student Union will reach out to private sector individuals and non-government organizations to assist with scholarships or jobs to complete tuition payments. Also through the Alumni Association, jobs will be sourced. I also plan to have shirts for student representatives that they'll be available for you to be able to identify them, for student representatives to be accountable and not just have positions, but actually are more accountable in meetings with the officers. I plan to improve the communication between the Student Union and John Adams Hall so that there's no disjoint. Organize monthly residence run to inform students of Student Union campaigns and services. Ensure that an officer feedback form is available so that the executives can know what they're doing right and wrong. Propose an intercom system so that we keep abreast of information. Introduce IOTV as a campus-based television station run by students, and you could feature IOE news, issues, and events.
A program that could be featured could be called EduSpeak, which speaks directly to our educational needs. Introduce a SU booth on level 4, so that instead of coming down to the student union bar, you will have someone manning the station to direct you to the officers and possibly to give you information on the welfare and other issues. More feedback in terms of face-to-face forum, online text alert dialogue with management. There needs to be a facelift. I plan to spend a lot of attention on the student union. I see Diana coming. I plan to focus on the Chinese.
Thank you. Sorry. We have homes to go to. Okay, very good question and an excellent answer. I'm glad you said it's we, and it's not just me or the two other presidents, if I'm elected, working together. To begin with, I would say, again, what we've been talking about, to know what exactly is that you want in any other normal circumstances, or as you said, during this year, this very challenging, drastic changing year, what is that you want is what I will strive towards. And you made it very easy by saying that it is us. That means it is not just 2 people, 3 people trying to figure out what is it and how to push it through. It is therefore imperative that I make sure that everybody, all students are in loop with me all the time. Two-way communication. I let you know what is happening. I come to know from you what is that you want. Whatever is that you want is what we will strive towards. There is no personal, again, the same answer, personal assumptions or agenda here, but what exactly is that you are looking forward to. So anything, any kind of change that is being proposed in future, if you're fine with it, that's what will happen. If you're not fine with it and you want to bring about change, then that's what will happen. Thank you.
So one of the things that I found this year is the Students' Union is a facilitator. We facilitate students to be able to do the things that they would like to do, which means making opportunities available, but also facilitating the opportunities that students want themselves. So if I talk about some of the things that I have done this year, one of those would be when a student comes to me and say they want to put on an event, I make sure that they have the resources and the ability to communicate for that event to go forward. I make sure that I use what we have in the Students' Union and make that available to students. But with this, the Students' Union is as strong as the students that are here and the students that want to engage and participate. So really, if you're a Students' Union that isn't able to work with students and actually provide the resources they want, you're not going to have much of a Students' Union. You have to be reaching out all the time, yes, communicating, but also making sure that you are available and listening to them, and that you have the ability to then achieve what your students want to achieve as well. So that is about organising events, that is about making sure that the infrastructure of the Students' Union is strong and effective and can enable all of this activity to happen. And I go back to this point, that is about then ensuring that what we have, the facilities we have, are being maintained, and making sure that when students want to fight for it, you are there fighting for it as well.
Actually, when I used to go around to the institute and I was asking students what are their problems. Many people said to me, you know, we can't find job, we are international students, it's very difficult, there is economic crisis now. Yes, that's true. This is one of the main problems students have. They can't get even a part-time job here. So job forums for our students, recruitment events, cooperation with external organizations, with agencies, make this place as busy as possible in order to increase the chance for our students to work in the student union. This is one part, social events and cultural events. There are many different groups, as I have said earlier, different needs. We need to be able to satisfy all these different needs by having different events like cultural events, group nights, release nights, by having leadership forums, BGC forums, as I have said earlier, also student unions, communication with UCL union, in order to increase the opportunities for our students and to improve your social experience. Fair trade for student unions, as I have said, and we have a shop, a book shop basically. It's very difficult for someone to get any book easily there. Yes, we need to see what services we offer and we need to push for better services. Sometimes we might not be able to decrease costs, to decrease fees, but we may be able to improve the services, which is, for me, is the other way around.
I think I would say that what I would do is what I've been doing. From the Facebook group to Foods of Nations to Coffee Talk to showing up at the academic board meeting on Wednesday afternoon to discuss the UCL IOE potential merger there, to being with my colleagues at DocSoc. I guess if you're going to get your butt wet, you just keep working. You go to work and you keep participating in the experience and the process with people. And I think that since I've been here, that is something that I have cared before I even got here, but especially since I've been here. I feel like my experience is enriched and informed because of all of the amazing people that I'm around, and I want to keep doing that. I think the position of student education and experience is fundamentally formulated around this sense of engagement, engaging with your stakeholders, but just participating with them, listening to them, but being on the ground with them and making yourself available to them, whether or not it's on the 4th floor. I don't think you can stay down here in an office. I think you have to participate. You have to find out what people are interested in and why they're interested in it, and you have to keep extending yourself out there, regardless of what's going on and happening, keeping the lines of communication open between students, because we serve as a nexus between them and the administration, faculty and staff, and we're one group, we're one IOE, I agree, and if we're going to be strong, we're going to be strong together because we care for one another, and we're going to stay that way.
Hard question for me personally, because I didn't originally apply for the position because I had countless ideas. I applied because I was sick of being overlooked, basically. All last year I felt that the student union wasn't really for us and that we were just allowed to eat our lunch here occasionally. And I feel that we need to get more involved. And I've spoken to some of my colleagues now, and I know that they want more fun things to happen, just more events to happen. They really enjoy the Chinese event that happened at the New Year. That was an amazing thing for me to see all those colours and dances. It was amazing. I think we need more things like that to get us involved, because at the moment we're not as involved as we can be. And I think that, again, communication is a problem, and we need to tell everybody what is happening and to let people know. Often when I'm walking, I bounce, and that's not because I have problems, it's because I'm enthusiastic. And I think that's what we need to get the students more involved, and I can be an enthusiastic person and I can get everyone involved, I hope.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to improve student experience. How? I hear you cry. Well, firstly, class representatives, train them properly and make sure that they're the solid link between students and the SU. 2, liaise with John Adams Hall and make sure that anything we can change, the students want to change, will be changed. 3, by increasing social events, giving the students their voice as to what they want. If they want a Brazilian night with a woman in a bikini, let's give them that. If they want a Greek night, let's do it. And making sure that they get the most out of their student experience whilst at the IOE.
I want to say thank you for your stamina. I'm guessing this is probably the last question. It'll just need a very, very quick answer that it needs to know. Some of you have talked about fighting to retain this space. I've seen the current plans for the new student space that management would like to create. It's bigger than this space. It's much more accessible than this space because it's a level 4. It's bright, it's shiny, it's new. those. So it doesn't need a long answer. Just would you like to take this, or would you be talking to management to make the new space as good as possible for us?
I'll keep it brief, I promise. I initially thought that as long as we've got a space, it doesn't matter where it is, as long as we have one. And I personally support the decision to move it to level 4. It's more accessible, it's less in the basement, better facilities, and I think we can work with what we've proposed being given.
I don't have a problem with this space, but I don't have maybe not as much information as you do in terms of the space that will become available soon and how accessible it is. But I'm thinking that you're saying it will be more accessible and it will be a bigger space. So if it's going to be a bigger space and it's more accessible, it would be in the best interest of students, and I'm sure they would appreciate it. So I would be in negotiation with management about that space. And if it's dodgy, then I would definitely think about this space here. So I'm open where that's concerned. Negotiation is a big thing for me.
The quick answer to the question is I have no right to decide what is good or bad for the students. I would let you to decide. If there are any such plans, I would say the management brings it to us, we show it, and everybody together decides what is that they want. No matter how bright and shiny that student space is, but if students still believe that this is better, then I think we'll have to go ahead with that. But if they are happy with that, then sure, why not? Then we go with that. I'm not the one who's here to decide that.
Thank you for that question, and I echo the 2 points being made here. I think when we talk about space, it's not necessarily the physical space, but it is the fact that it is a space that is called the Students' Union, and it is autonomously run by the students, for the students. Having seen those plans myself, I know that on them there is not a student union space, there is student space. There is a big difference between what is student space and what is a student's union. The student union space is considerably smaller. So what I would fight for is a students' union retaining the amount of space that we currently have, be it here or on level 4. Like I said, that will be a decision that students would want to make what's best for them, but it is the fact that we have a students' union that is no less than what we currently have, be it here or be it on level 4.
Exactly.
Yes, this is a good question actually. And a difficult thing to say that you can abandon this place. We are now and move to another place, and changes are always difficult. But I'm not interested in labels. I mean, if it's a student in a space or student space or whatever, I'm interested to have space for events, space for relaxing, space for lunch, space for coffee, space to enjoy drinks, space to dance, space for conferences, for societies, for meetings. As long as we will have all the space and we will be able to create an atmosphere and work and open through, because the space is a tool. Yes, we create the atmosphere, we use it in order to open. As long as we will be able to do all this and much more, yes, we can move. If we can't be able to do that, then we need to fight for what we have and improve it. It's always something we need to work on.
I echo the point that the space should reflect what the community believes is most functional and best for them. I think that that's something before the master estates plan is solidified, because as I understand it, it's still, there's some general willingness to listen. If there's some still willingness to listen around what is possible, we should use the opportunity to inform what is possible from the student side. That way, what we get is reflective of what not only the current students want, but also what's in the interest of the future students that are coming in either next year or the forthcoming years, and just protecting the identity of us as a group and protecting the capacity of a space to be free and open for people to come, relax, rest, meet, build community, participate in the IOE.